I will probably die in my sleep. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today is gonna be a little bit different. I want to talk about my sleep paralysis problem. When I rarely get sleep paralysis, but when I do get sleep paralysis, it's very bad. Like sometimes I won't be able to breathe, and it's like at the last moment, like last breath or last heartbeat that I get, then I can wake up from it. I do not wake up from it like right away if my oxygen just gets cut off. It's like capacity to inhale gets really hard during that sleep paralysis. Like I am making sounds, I'm like trying to yell for help, but I still couldn't wake up. So there was this time where I had my ex over and I told her about my sleep paralysis problem, and so we were sleeping, and then she heard me squirming in my sleep and she didn't know what to do. I wanted her to wake me up, like try her best to wake me up, but she didn't try her best to wake me up. What she did, because my head was in an awkward position, so it was hard for me to get oxygen. Like when I was laying down, my head was up like this, and because the airway was like, it was like my tongue was kind of blocking my airway. Like, you know how when people, if you're doing like emergency kind of stuff, you should not have anyone have their head like up like that because their tongue will get stuck in their throat. Yeah, that's basically what was happening when I was sleeping. And then what she did, she actually lifted my head back up, but that didn't wake me up. Like I was still in that paralysis state. Like I felt everything that she was trying to do to help keep me breathing, but I was still trying to get oxygen. And then like at the last moment of that last breath that I was gonna take, then I woke up. She was crying and saying like, I didn't even know what to do. And so I was like, it's okay, it's okay. And yeah, that my sleep paralysis is pretty bad, and I will probably die in my sleep if I grow older, because right now my body is strong. I can handle that stress when it comes to that. But I'm afraid that when I'm older and my body is brittle, I won't be able to handle that stress, because like let's say I'm 95 years old, right? And then a slight change in oxygen intake during sleep, I will probably, die from that. I know a lot of research articles out there say you cannot die in your sleep from not breathing. Like if you're not breathing in your sleep, you'll automatically wake up. No, not for me, man. It's very difficult to wake up, even with trying to grasp that last air of breath. And sometimes I wake up sweating and things like that. Is this sweating or did I just piss my pants? And another time, like when I have sleep paralysis, is when I'm sleeping in an awkward position where I'm cutting off blood flow from my either hands. Like let's say I'm leaning to the side and then it's awkwardly placed, like I'm squeezing on one hand and I'm sleeping like that. That oxygen, the blood flow gets cut off from my hand, and I can feel it in my sleep. Like I'll wake up from the dream that I was having, but I won't wake up. So I'll wake up into a sleep paralysis state and feel my hand getting numb and my blood getting cut off, and it feels like my hand was getting purple and it's not enough oxygen. And then like at that very last moment, then I kick myself back up into gear, and then I'm like exhaling, inhaling. I try to move my arm, it gets all numb and paralyzed, and I can barely lift my arm until like that blood flow regains its flow. And yeah, it's pretty scary like that. Now, so I have a pretty, like I've been going through sleep paralysis throughout my life, from probably elementary school till now, and it only gotten worse. Like there are some tricks that I was able to do to help with avoiding sleep paralysis. Like I noticed that I will have sleep paralysis if I am sleeping in an awkward position. So if I ever have anyone over that's sleeping near me, I will have to inform them, like if you ever see me sleeping in an awkward position where my hand is like maybe above my head, like when my hand is above my head, that I will enter in a sleep paralysis state. If I'm sleeping on my hand like that, I could be entering in a sleep paralysis state. My head tilted up like that, I will enter in the sleep paralysis state. So there are some things that I will try to avoid doing when I go to sleep. Like I'll try to get into as most comfortable position that I can and not be like, oh, I'm laying down like this and sleeping like this. If I slept like this, I will go into sleep paralysis. But yeah, I will have to get into a very comfortable spot. Like number one, I will have to get into a comfortable spot. And then number 2 is sleep at a regular schedule. It's like if I were to sleep at an off schedule, like if I took a nap in like the mid-morning, mid-afternoon, there's a high probability that I'll go through sleep paralysis in that time frame. And so that's why I try to avoid taking naps, because I know I might get into a sleep paralysis state. It's not a very nice thing to be in. So that's another thing I try to avoid. And the third thing is sleep in your regular clothing or whatever you're comfortable in, because when I sleep in an awkward clothing, I will pretty much get into a sleep paralysis state as well. So choose that's like kind of rare. It's not as much as the other first 2 that I just mentioned, but those are the first 3 to prevent my sleep paralysis. Or if you guys are suffering from sleep paralysis, hopefully you could take this as some tips as well, because these help me and hopefully it can help you. So those are the 3 things: positioning, time of day, and the things you're wearing when you go to sleep. So those are the top 3 things to help avoid the sleep paralysis. Now, let's say you entered sleep paralysis. I found that there are several methods that could help you get out of it, or at least remain calm. So first thing, try to jump off a cliff. Try to imagine yourself jumping off the cliff. Like, just imagine a building and just jump off and go all the way and try to smack that floor. And if that doesn't work, imagine a restroom. Turn on the water and splash yourself in the face. And so those are like the 2 things that helped me before when I was younger. But now it's gotten worse, so that those don't work anymore. The next thing would be breathe slowly. Like, I know you get, for me, I know grasping for air is the first sign that you'll take when you notice that your breathing is abnormal and you can't get enough oxygen. Try to relax and just breathe. Like, just take in 1 breath at a time. Do not go too far, and try to relax your muscles from the throat. Like, there are some things that you can still do when you're sleep paralysis, but ultimately you cannot move at all. Like, someone's holding you down. You can't move your limbs, you can't move anything. But the only thing that you can control or that I can control during my sleep paralysis is my breath. It's my breathing. I cannot yell. I might be able to make a squeak sound, but that takes a lot of effort on my part. So, like, if I had someone over, that is the key thing to try to wake me up. And remember, touching me is not gonna wake me up. You have to like shake me really hard, or try to get me to wake up, like slap me or do something, because when my ex-girlfriend just lifted my head, I thought that would be enough to wake me up, but that didn't. I was like, why didn't it wake me up? Because she moved my body, and I'm a pretty light sleeper sometimes, and I didn't wake up. So try everything you can to wake me up if you ever come over and sleep over. So those are like the 3 things to help try to wake you up. So first one is just imagine yourself in a situation where it's the most scariest situation that you've been, and like try to kill yourself basically, or wash your face or something like that for number 1. And then number 2 is slow your breathing down. Try to take your oxygen in 1 at a time. Think of happy thoughts, and then you'll go, like, I'll slip back into a dream world rather than staying in that sleep paralysis state. So I won't wake up from it, but I'll go back to dreaming in that world. And number 3, have someone to just wake you up, and tell them that if you hear an abnormal breathing from me, wake me up immediately. And so yeah, because in sleep paralysis, the only thing I can control is my breathing. So if I'm like if I'm doing that, you wake me up, wake me the hell up right now. Because I'm yelling for help in that dream at that state when I'm like breathing like that. Like, I'm yelling really hard. I'm yelling so much. And like during that sleep paralysis, I'm like, I think that someone's with me too. And I'm yelling for that person to wake me up. But then when I, actually get woken up, I know that I'm alone because I live alone. And yeah, that's really difficult. And the last thing is basically This one helps the most, but it doesn't work all the time. It's really difficult. You'll sweat, you'll try to, because you're gonna use all the ounce of energy that you have to try to move. Like you're trying to move your limb as much as possible because you feel your limb's there, but you can't move it. Like you're trying to move it, like you're so stuck. But then like occasionally I am able to throw my limbs somewhere. Like you only get like a split second a chance to move a limb. And after that movement, it's gonna be even harder to move it again. So like during that time when I'm telling you, like when my hands are up like this, like if I'm sleeping like this in an awkward position and my oxygen is getting cut off from my limb, like I'm trying my hardest to sling this arm down to get into position. And most of the time it works. Like just trying my hardest to throw my body into position where I can just slip back into my REM sleep or regular sleep and avoid that sleep paralysis. Trust me, it's very, very difficult. I don't know how many of you guys have sleep paralysis or as bad as I do. I don't know if I'm alone out there. If you also have a bad case of sleep paralysis, let me know down below, because I think I'm the only one who suffers this bad case. Because I know everybody has sleep paralysis, but I don't know if they have a sleep paralysis degree where I am at, because it's pretty bad. But luckily, like I said, luckily, the preventative measures that I have developed throughout the years have prevented me from getting so many sleep paralysis issues, so I rarely get them now. The number one thing is just sleeping, in a better position. Don't have your arms flying out or anything like that. So yeah, guys. So that's it for this video. I just wanted to talk about that issue. So most likely I will die in my sleep, and it will be a suffocation death. And when I grow older, because yeah, am I gonna have someone next to me? I don't know. Like right now I'm single as single can be. But yeah, guys, let me know down below if you ever have problems sleeping like this. If you have a serious case issue of sleep paralysis, let me know how you deal with it, because I really want to know more techniques on how to handle sleep paralysis when you're in sleep paralysis. So yeah, like I read online and everything, it just doesn't help, but it's all through experience. The more info I can get on sleep paralysis, on how to wake up from it, the better. So let me know down below how you deal with it, and maybe I could use that method when I do enter sleep paralysis again. So guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.